Hi, I'm Neil of Team Teacher, teaching, living and raising a family in China. In this video, we're looking at the future tense PowerPoint lesson. Let's check it out. So we start the PPT, welcoming the students to the class, and then we go straight into the class rules. We go over the class rules, and I'll remind the students if they follow the class rules, we'll do some sort of reward. The students in this particular class are going to be the higher grade, so we're talking grade 6 at least, and high level. So the reward here might just be a music video. And then this class, we're talking about the future tense, the future, and where you're talking about using the future in two different ways, using going to versus using will. Now, like I said, this is for the later grades of primary and elementary school, so grade 6, grade 5 at least, and a lot of the stuff in this PowerPoint is taken from the curriculum, from the textbooks for the public schools. So if it sounds a bit iffy, it's kind of because they've tried to simplify things as much as they can. And what we're doing here is we're kind of reviewing that, going over that within our lessons, and we're trying to just expand it a little bit and get them to practice. So first off, we talk about the structure. So we have things kind of color coded so they can see how it's placed within a sentence. So we've got the red for changing the verb be. Going to has always been the same for the future, and green for being a verb. So the thing that we really point out with going to that they really need to remember is that it's the verb to be has to change to reflect the subject, and that it's going to, always going to, because sometimes that they drop the to and would say I'm going to see the dentist. Then will, same format, same structure, except we use orange for will, and they don't really need to. We actually emphasize how simple it is, because we can say I will, he will, she will, etc. And this particular slide, we're kind of emphasizing that you can use the same structure. So I eat cookies, I'm going to eat cookies, I will eat cookies, etc. So we're emphasizing that this is what it would look with the different structures, and you can say these two things. But the thing is, when we talk about this stuff, is that when we say these two things, they are talking about the future, they do have different meanings. And that's where we get into it here. So we then talk about the meanings of going to. And what we've got from the book is that there's two meanings. What you want to do something in the future, so basically future intention, and then also what will happen because of what you see now, so like kind of like a future prediction based on current evidence, I guess. And we try and give our examples, and then we're going to try and elicit examples from the students as well. Also for will, we have what you will do right now, so an immediate action, and also what will happen in the future, so basically a definite future, or like almost definite prediction, I guess, and offer to do something, and request to ask for help. This is something we disagree with a bit with the book, because the book basically only uses will as a question for request for help, whereas, you know, with offer to do something, you're kind of asking a question there as well. It's just the way that they've put it. We don't want to get the students so confused, so if you're not teaching per the Chinese curriculum, feel free to sort of change it up for wherever you are. But we try and make it clear with our explanations and stuff, but we don't try to go veer too far away, as we don't want to confuse them, because what you have to remember as well is, yes, maybe the book is teaching something that you don't agree with, or you think is a little bit off, or even if you think it's completely wrong. However, what they're learning is going to be reflected in their exams. So if what you are teaching them is, maybe 100% correct, it's great. But if that means that they are going to get a lesser score on the exams, you have to really weigh that up, because they might not be that interested in pursuing English after school. Maybe they're looking to do something else. Maybe they're going to go into a different field, but they need high grades to go to a particular college to go into that field. By not allowing them to follow what they're taught per the curriculum and to use that to pass their exams to get to that place, it's you're kind of denying them what they want, what they're hoping to do. So you really have to weigh that up, and don't think that your way is the only way. You have to have a balanced view with how things work in China, at least. So after going over these different meanings of will versus going to, you also notice that we threw in the contractions there. We don't really explain the contractions so much, but we just start to introduce them as we go along. And then we go into a game. Now this one, because going to is the one that has the most difficulty with structure-wise, this is the one that we kind of focus on the most, as this is the one where they have the most problems. So we're asked, what are they going to do? So first we'll get them to tell us what's going on in the picture, and we can give points for that, and then we're going to give them a structure. So from the structure, they have to make the complete sentence. So the important thing is we point out the subject. So right now it's they, so they have to think about the verb be and how that changes. And then we've got a verb to go with camping. So this one is more for them to remember, kind of like the verb that goes with camping. That's basically, these questions are derived from the book, so that's just kind of like a recall thing. After going over and really focusing on the be verb when it's going to be conjugating with the going to, we then go into another game about the future. So this one is a cool little soccer game, and this one they actually have to choose between will, going to, or another verb like can, or another modal like can. And this one they have to think about the meaning. So what is actually happening here? So I've put my boots. I put on my boots because I will wash the car, or I'm going to wash the car. So they have to think about those meanings that we went over before, and the examples we gave, and the ones we elicited from the students. And then for the answer, you choose on the ball. And it's pretty fun little animation at the end there. So we have a whole bunch of these. And now, after doing these games for the future, we then will set them some individual tasks where they can come up with their own meanings for the different meanings that we said, and we'll actually probably go back through the slides to bring up the different meaning slides, and we'll have them write out and share with their group or share with the class their examples, or we'll have some video where they have to predict what's going to happen next. It's your choice, but this is the more freer activity, and there are plenty of those out there. Well, that's the end of our video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. If you are wanting a copy of this PowerPoint, check the link below. Thank you. Bye-bye.